Excuse me. Hi, I'd like to welcome you back to the Romocomaka Railroad. This will be a series of video clips showing the track repair portion of the damage to our layout from Sandy. As you can see here is the beginning of the project. We were able to save this number 6 switch, and we were able to save the Y switch here, but we weren't able to save all of the track. So we're showing you the damage from the track. This is where we had to cut up the tree. We haven't cleaned it all up yet. This is the storage shed. Excuse me. And we'll go around the upper part of the loop. This is approximately 6 feet off the ground. And as you can see, some of the track is still here, some is not. We're coming up to the section where you'll see some light gray area. This is where we've completely rebuilt the bench work and reinstalled the planking and put the landscaping cloth over it so that the ballast doesn't fall through. And we're still going around. We've put up the retainers so the ballast won't slide off. Here, of course, is the landscape cloth, and you can see the ballast and the track that's remaining from the damage. This is the outer loop track here. The inner loop was destroyed. Excuse me. We're now going back around, and again you can see the track work. The next section will show where we are getting set to put in the track. Here you see we've installed the siding, and we're now going around on the inner loop of track, which we have installed. The outer loop, of course, has not been installed yet, but we have some work to do. As you can see, that dip in the track there. And we're going around. We'll continue around the loop until we have an area where it was not destroyed, and we'll be tying it in. Here you can see some of the track we were able to save. Coming up to the end of this one, the next section will show, after we have done this, how we have ballasted. Now this ballast is a combination of fine stone and dust, and here you see it on the inner loop of the main as well as the siding track. It's very, very heavy to compensate for the damage to the track and the bench work. And as you can see, it's a light color compared to the rest of the ballast that is already there. Again, we'll be going all around the layout just to show you how we've ballasted. And this particular track required quite a bit of work to ballast because of the damage that resulted when the tree fell on it. We're going around now to where we replaced the track and tied it into the old track that was not destroyed. We're into that section now, but we're still ballasting so that we can get the track level in both directions. We've come around here where, of course, you can see some of the shingles that we used to shore up the track. The next section, we have put down the outer loop of track, and as you can see, the ballast is fairly heavy here, not as heavy as the inside, but this track was affected the least. So we will be demonstrating this as we go along. And now we're moving to the point where you can see how we have ballasted this. And we're coming up, we're running a test engine on it. Actually, my granddaughter is running the test engine. And we're going around to make sure the track work is good and there's no problems. We're going now back towards the storage shed. Very shortly you'll see the number 6Y that we were able to save, although it was a lot of work to do it, but we had to do it because we couldn't replace it. Coming up on the Y, you can see that my granddaughter is still running the 44-tonner, and it'll be coming up this way, going through the Y that we saved. She's having a good time, and that's important. And we're looking back now down at the Y and the number 6 going towards the storage shed. And we've had to ballast because we had a problem with a piece of track here that was also damaged. You'll see the gap right here, which we've had to repair. We're now showing the gap repaired. This is the one track that was damaged, and you'll see the big sections in here. You'll see them right here, which we had to cut and put in to cover the big gap. Now we're going out towards the Y and the number 6, which we're going to leave elevated as we have. and we're going out towards the outer main, and you'll see the 44 tonner there. We're now showing the section of main where we began the ballasting, because this was also damaged when the tree fell, and it was necessary to go almost all the way around the loop. But as you can see now, we've made all the repairs and we have the ballast down, and the ballast is quite heavy because the ballast actually serves the function of securing this layout. Going into the shed, and as you can see, we leave the uncouplers clean. And the last section you will see here, what we have to do after we ballast is we have to wait for a heavy rain, which we luckily had last night. This drives all of the dust into the stone and actually holds the track much, much better. After we do this, we will bring out the sweepers and cleaners to clean the top of the rail, and we will be able to run the trains once more. You'll notice that there's a different color here. This is because it's still wet. We just came out, it stopped raining about a half an hour ago. And we're just showing how much of the ballast has gone down because of the dust. Once this settles, it is actually quite strong. We're now coming up to the section where we've added the new track to the old track. We'll then be going to the inside of the loop just to give you a better perspective. But as you can see, everything looks like it belongs where it does. And then the next pictures you will see is going through the inside part of the loop, and you'll see the inner track and the outer track, the mains. And we're heading back towards the storage shed. And this will show that we've made the repairs. We won't be able to run until we get a dry day and we know that the ballast is solid. But as you can see, we've put a lot of work in. Quite a few people have been very helpful doing this, and I do appreciate their help. Coming around, and you'll see the storage shed very shortly in the number 6, and we'll shoot down the main lines where they'll be joined from the other side of the track from the lower loop. I hope that you have enjoyed this brief video to give you a rough idea of what we have had to go through. You can see the logs from the tree in the background, and hopefully we won't have to deal with this again. We have an arborist coming in to take down some more trees that might uproot, and hopefully we never have to do this again. There you see the control panel for the storage shed, and I hope this has been good for you, and enjoy G-Scale Model Railroading.